Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, and this is going to be a bit of a long one. I'm going to try to make each segment pretty fast to make this video short, but first up we have a look at the Hasbro Pulse G.I. Joe team's next HasLab. And it was very obvious what it was going to be. They dropped a lot of hints. Everyone figured it was going to be this. I had some other ideas of what it could be, but it is that of the Snow-Cat. And the Snow-Cat is going to need 8,000 backers by August 14th to completely fund to get Frostbite and the Snow-Cat. Then you're going to need about 10,000 to get a Lady J with all kinds of cool accessories. Then you're going to need 12,000 for a Winter Outpost kind of camping set. Really cool looking. I hope we see more of this in the line that isn't behind HasLabs or exclusives. And then finally, at 14,000 backers, you get Flint and his Arctic gear, just like Lady J, with some awesome old accessories. It is definitely a play set, world-building kind of scenario with this HasLab, which I feel like this is the way the HasLabs are going to keep going forward, because the Rattler and the Hiss Tank and the Dragonfly, they were very much just the vehicles with some characters that were oriented to the vehicles. Now it seems like we're getting kind of like playset kind of feels, which is really cool, so maybe we'll see that going forward. But yeah, I just wanted to cover it real fast. It started, I believe, June 30th, and it will be going till August 14th, and it's really close to its 8,000 backers. Last I looked, as of recording, there was about 5,000 plus backers, so really awesome stuff. I, for one, will probably skip this one like I did the Rattler, just because I don't have the space for it. I don't feel the need for it, as I did for the Dragonfly and the Hiss Tank, for what characters came with it, and for the nostalgia of the Hiss Tank. But definitely something awesome if you are a winter fan of the G.I. Joe Arctic missions and stuff like that. Maybe you want it to go with your snow job, and a lot of people turn their snow jobs into other characters using head swapping, so you have a whole Arctic team if you did that. And there wasn't a lot of Transformers news this week, even with Transformers Tuesday. The only thing we got was some more official images of the Macross 7X Transformers collab they're doing, and it is that of a Convoy Macross 7. We get to see all of its different forms, all the accessories that come with it. It's got a blaster, a guitar, interchangeable faceplates, and a cool trailer that becomes the stand for him to perform a concert. Really cool looking. I'm loving all these different, Transformers collabs, like the Godzilla one or the Diaclone Zoids one they're doing. Just really awesome stuff. Wanted to cover it real fast and have something fun for the Transformers fans out there, because I know I'm one of them, and it's been a light week, but we're coming up on Comic-Con and all the summer stuff, and we're going to see more stuff coming out probably when it comes to Transformers and getting ready for the new year of stuff. But just really awesome looking. I love that it can do all the different modes and stuff like that, and it just looks really sleek and perfect. A lot of people think it should have been Hot Rod, but Convoy sells better than Hot Rod or Optimus Prime, so that's why they went that route. But really awesome. I like it. It gives me an idea of a young Orion Pax Optimus Prime, kind of playing his guitar or having fun. And it's just really cool to see a jet mode Optimus. And over at the Marvel Legends side of things, when it comes to Hasbro, real fast before we talk about the items shown here, want to give a shout out to Ryan on marketing. Unfortunately, when they laid off another 100 people, he was one of the positions that got cut from the company. So this Comic-Con will be the last time he'll be with the company. So now it's just Dwight and Ryan. Is it Ryan and Dwight? No, Dan and Dwight. Ryan is the one who unfortunately is leaving the brand. I feel like this is a crazy thing to see happen, because the Marvel team has been putting out bangers the last 2 years when it comes to comic stuff and cartoon stuff, and it's just been really awesome. They've been giving us a lot of what we want, and I'm kind of curious how this will change the dynamic. But enough of that sad news. Wherever you go, Ryan, they're going to be lucky to have you with your marketing skills and your passion for the brands that you represent. But on to the items this week. Dan posted that the Dragon Man, Dan shared the Hasbro post of the Dragon Man finished kind of looking product. Does have double jointed elbows. It does have, pinless elbows and knees that are, double. So that's really cool. Really awesome accessories that we knew we were getting. Just looks incredible. They said it will be shipping out late summer, so we should be seeing a charge soon. Why, Hasbro? Why do you do it right before Comic-Con when we're trying to budget for that convention? Do you ship all these things? I've had so much stuff shipping from Hasbro recently, and it's just kind of hurting my wallet right before the convention season. But beggars, can't be choosers when it comes to, if you want things, you got to make choices. Totally understandable. But hopefully this will happen after Comic-Con when it comes to the charging of it, and not right before. But they said it's coming late summer, which would be end of July. So we might see it get charged during Comic-Con week and then ship out later on the month. And then lastly, the other Marvel Capcom figure, the second to last Juggernaut, went live and sold out on Pulse and some other websites, but still is available on quite a few. So pick your website you like to support, see if they have it, and pick it up. I'm excited for this version of Juggernaut. It looks incredible, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 packs. And for this week's Target Geek-Out event, I believe this is week 4. Because I think week 3 was WWE last week, but week 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog X DC, and they did some Jack specific, I think it was, made some Sonic superhero figures. This is based off the comic stuff and their version of Darksider, which looks really cool actually, and then some Funko Pops. So I just want to cover it real fast. The Funko stuff, you know, I'm not too big of a fan of, and the action figures are cool and all. I love that Darksider. If it's not in a pack and it's standalone, it might be worth picking up to put with your other figures in the DC lineup. But I'm kind of curious if this is something that kind of maybe might hint to what Mattel's will look like. Or maybe we could see what Jack's stuff would look like, and maybe Jack would do a really good job with it. I think, yeah, Jack Pacific, I think is the one who does it. Yeah, because they do all those cool toys for Nintendo and Sega and stuff like that. So really awesome. And it's finally happened after a long wait of seeing, you know, digital renders and gray prototypes and all kinds of stuff. The Mask figure wave from Loyal Subject went up for pre-order on July 1st, including the Comic-Con exclusive / Big Bad Toy Store exclusive / Loyal Subject Store exclusive of the truck with the little robot and the kid. I forget their names, but they're shown here. That is an exclusive, you know, set for $175. The basic version is $125, so you're paying about $50 for the 2 little figures, $25 a figure. Kind of crazy to see. It's sold out on Loyal Subject. It's still available on BBTS, and it should be available at the show when they have their booth at Comic-Con. But then the rest of the 4 figures, including the basic truck, are available. You can do a bundle pack with the exclusive one and the other 3 vehicles on Big Bad Toys. Link is in the description down below, along with everything else that is shown here today that is available. It's really cool. I'm excited, but they've definitely, unfortunately, priced me out. I don't really want to pay $325 for 4 vehicles, even though that's the same price for the Snowcat, but I'm skipping out on that too. I just feel like it's a little rich for me. I think I know of some people who sell in my local area Mask figures at shows for like less than that. You can get an actual original truck, I think, for like less than $100. So it's crazy to see the newer one, and I'm talking complete original, for less than $100. So it's crazy to see a newer one for $125 to $175, but it's a really awesome thing, and you know, maybe later down the road I might be more willing to buy it, but I would definitely have to cut back on other collectible lines that I like, and I just don't feel like it's there for me. I love Mask, don't get me wrong, and I've been waiting for these to come out so I could see them in person, so I can't wait to see them in person, and maybe someone I know will buy them and I can check them out. But yeah, really cool, but it is definitely pricey. And over at McFarlane Toys, we got some items to show off. First off, the GameStop exclusive Frostbitten Robin from the Batman movie of Batman and Robin. This just looks awesome. This definitely works for the Frostbite collection because, you know, you have Mr. Freeze phrasing Robin. I just think this is really cool. And we had, I think, the Batman recently that was like this, and they have really cool frost effects. Just an awesome figure, available exclusively at GameStop along with the rest of the Frostbite collection. Then we also got to look at 4 figures that will be going up for pre-order on July 8th, which is the Nightwing in his, I think it's Silver Age, not Silver Age, it's like the Disco Robin era, where he has the Nightwing era outfit. Then we got a Batgirl from one of the versions and a Batman, you know, from another version. And then a character I can't remember the name of, but looks awesome. I don't think it's the Anti-Monitor Monitor. I don't know who this is. I feel bad. I'm pulling a blank on it. Got to brush up on my DC characters, but really cool stuff. All going up for pre-order on July 8th, so mark your calendar if you want any of these. You got some Bat Family, some villains, and some movie stuff, which is awesome. And Blockies, in Blockies news, Blockies is killing it with their model stuff. They just announced they are going to be doing Marvel Rivals, Venom, and Spider-Man, and their Blockies, I think it's classic assortment, kind of like the Transformer stuff. They're doing Mega Man soon. They're doing DC. I mean, no, not DC. They're doing Marvel stuff, sorry. They've done the Marvel Blocky Surprise Pack, small ones for the Infinity War and Endgame stuff. They're doing other bigger figures. I think they're doing, like, comic Spider-Man and Captain America and stuff like that, and other characters they were showing prototypes off. But these two stuck out to me because I think these are our first Marvel Rivals products that have prototype images. There's rumors that other companies are going to be doing it. Nothing official yet, but this is official, showing product at an event, and I'm very pumped for it. I know that I'm looking forward to this Venom and Spider-Man to go into my collection, and it's model based, but they're blocky, so they're not going to be super complicated, so anybody can get into this until we get, Marvel Legends or S.H.Figuarts or MAFEX versions of these characters. But I think these are a good step in, and they're probably only going to be like $25, because I think that's what I paid for the classic Megatron and Optimus from the Bayverse movies, and they come with really cool effects. But yeah, just really awesome. Wanted to cover it here. Blockies is killing it with all the different brands they're getting and doing these awesome simplistic models that are very articulated. And over at Mondo Toys, we had a sneak peek of the Cowboy Bebop figure, and now we have the official image with some awesome accessories, so I want to cover that real fast. The link is in the description down below. And then we also are getting Man-E-Faces from Masters of the Universe, which looks incredible. Another one of those cool characters right up there with Snouts Bout and Roboto for me, who's just this really awesome looking, Motu character that when you look at them, you immediately go, oh, that's a Motu character. So really awesome stuff coming out of Mondo Toys. I'm sure we'll see more amazing things this summer, but I just wanted to cover these real fast because they look incredible. I don't know if Man-E-Faces is available. I think it's going up for pre-order later on. I believe I have the link in the description down below, but it isn't unlocked yet, or no, that's a different item, but it will be coming soon, I believe. And something we don't cover too much here, but this is just incredible looking. It is another 1/6 scale figure company, that of Hot Toys, and they are doing the Azrael Batman, I believe, which just looks incredible here, and I just wanted to show it off and talk about it because I'm not going to be buying it, because Hot Toys is a whole nother level of collecting for collectors. I mean, if you're buying Hot Toys, there's a good chance you don't have much of the other stuff that falls under it, because they are pricey, bigger figures, kind of like Mondo Toys, but even a little bit pricier sometimes. But they're really detailed. I mean, you almost got a little person on your shelf at that point, because they look really good. They look screen accurate or show accurate, like it jumped off the screen, which is cool. That's the point, that's the price, that's the scale that you're getting. I'm always impressed when people can do it with 1/12 scale, and Mondo's gonna kind of try to do that with their figures, so it's nice to see, Hot Toys. I would love to see Hot Toys do 1/12 scale like Mezco and Mondo, but they do mostly 12-inch AK 1/6 scale, which is really cool. But I like this bag. And over at NECA Toys, we got 2 items to talk about, technically 5, but the first one that is 4 is the Ben Cooper Kids Halloween costumes, which at this point we've gotten so many of these, you can fill a street display of just Halloween trick-or-treaters. We've gotten so many, and I love it. It's amazing. But this time around, we got some really cool pop culture ones with the Predator, which can now go with your Alien costume kit if you want to. We got Alf, which is really cool, and then we got Pee Wee Herman. So these are all things that NECA's already making things of. And then a Garfield. The Garfield one is tempting to me. I love my Garfield. Anytime there's figures, I keep hoping they'll do an Ultimates Garfield line, but I don't know how that would affect with Boss Fight Studios doing their Garfield line. But I think they could do an Ultimates Garfield line with Garfield and Odie and is it Tom, I believe, the human? I feel bad. I wasn't there for the human, I was there for the cat. And all the other characters, I think, would be like the Sesame Street, and they would knock it out of the park. So my fingers are crossed. Maybe now that we're seeing this, we know they have Kid Robot, who makes the plushes and stuff, and little vinyl figures of Garfield. So fingers crossed, maybe NECA will hear this, or I can bug them at Comic-Con about possibly getting Garfield Ultimate figures out there. But yeah, just some really awesome stuff there. And then second is an exclusive item. It is the Target exclusive Dracula Shredder, and this one is the Crimson version. And it will be available exclusively at Target. I'm wondering if this is going to be what week 5 of Target Geek-Out is NECA, and they might have some stuff, or maybe week 6, but keep your eyes out. I will definitely cover it when it goes up and share the links on my Instagram, which if you're not following, definitely go follow. I do put up links for products when they go live, if I didn't put the links in the comment in the description down below. So yeah, really awesome stuff. And over in the independent toy company side of things, Loose Collectibles, who have done a lot of cool figures recently. They've done Lady Death, they've done Vampira, I think they even did Red Sonja, and Rocketeer, I believe. Well, they are going to be doing Wargoth and Lady Death in another version, and these two look incredible, very detailed. Wanted to cover them here because they just look really awesome. I don't personally follow these characters' comics or stories, but they'd make perfect substitutes for other characters and other toy lines. The difference though is I don't really want to spend the money that loose collectibles cost. A lot of times they have, like the Red Sonja I think was like $70 or $80 when it came out, so these are probably going to be in that same price point. And it's just, for something I don't really know a lot about. I know the characters, I know the comics, but I've never read the comics, nor do I follow the characters' stories. But they just look really cool, and I wanted to cover them because if you're a fan of it, you probably already know about it. But if you didn't, hey, they're available for pre-order right now at BBTS, so definitely head over and pick them up if you want them. I believe they've already come out with one other character from this group, because they're part of like a group, like their own version of the Avengers. So you can get the 3 of them, and then they're going to come out with the other 2 characters later on, supposedly, so to finish the team of 5. But really cool. And in some real quick MAFEX news, I want to make this really short because it is just reissues. Reissues have been made for the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales and the brown and yellow suit of Wolverine. The Ultimate Miles Morales already went up for pre-order on most of the major sites and did sell out on Big Bad Toys. I don't know if it's still available on Entertainment Earth and HobbyLink Japan. And then the brown and yellow suit Wolverine, as far as I know, hasn't gone up for re-release pre-order yet, but I'm sure it will soon. A lot of times when a pre-order sells out, they're estimating a number and they'll get a little bit more, so hopefully when it becomes an actual release product, there'll be a little bit more. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll see these pop up at a convention this summer or fall. But yeah, just wanted to cover it real fast so they are reissuing these, just like they've reissued a lot of other stuff. I really appreciate that MAFEX does that. They might need to reissue the Captain America, because I noticed it was sold out on a couple of places, so there's a definite demand for that. Which, if you don't know, I did do a review on that MAFEX Captain America that you can go check out on my channel. And in S.H.Figuarts news, we have quite a few things to cover. First up, some things went up for pre-order for mainline general public stuff, that being the Superman movie Superman, the Berserker character that I'm pulling a blank on, but the female character, she's got a figure coming out, looks incredible. We also got a ton of Godzilla and Godzilla themed characters that just look incredible. We got some Kaiju number 8, just all kinds of stuff. There's even other ones that I didn't get a chance to put in here that went live for the pre-orders, including Evangelion characters. Not the suits, the actual characters. And then we have some Comic-Con news. The Comic-Con exclusives for S.H.Figuarts went up, and it is that of Gohan, and his one of his Super Saiyan modes, King Piccolo on a cool throne, Vegeta in full ape mode going ape crazy, and then a silhouette of a Godzilla that I'm assuming is a -1 Godzilla. I'm hoping that's what it is because it looks incredible. But yeah, just some really awesome stuff coming this year through the fall and the beginning of New Year, and then stuff at Comic-Con. And over in Mezco toy news, and I wasn't kidding, there's a lot to cover this week. We're in the beginning of summer. We got to look at a Nightwing in his black and red suit from the New 52 from Mezco Toys. This looks incredible. Mezco Toys are always incredible. This is the only image I have right now, but if you go to the Mezco link down in the description down below and click on it, you can see the figure and all the accessories it comes with. Like usual, they come with amazing accessories, soft goods, awesome designed figures, really awesome. This is part of the Mezco Con exclusive, like I don't know if they're exclusive to the conventions or if they're just we're doing this our own little online con thing where you can see each of the stuff. But this is, I believe, the first item we've seen so far. There might have been some other items that unfortunately did not jump out to me, but this looked really cool. I for one will not be getting it, but if you want it, it is available. It looks amazing. If you're a DC fan and a Nightwing fan, this is definitely for you. And in some more Comic-Con news, we have a look at the Jazzware exclusives for Comic-Con this year that stuck out to me. Unfortunately, first off, no Halo exclusive this year, so I hope that doesn't mean bad things for the brand. It has been doing a lot of online exclusives through their website, hasn't really been available anywhere else, so it might be not as popular, unfortunately. But we have a look at 4 items here. The plush Pokemon Squirrel team from the original series, which looks awesome. I'm really excited for that, but it is pricey. The Death Star Star Wars Galaxy Squadron Death Star Trench Run Darth Vader with his ship and 2 TIE fighters to recreate the trench scene. Crazy because Hasbro just released that Darth Vader ship with the effect so it could be blown up, so it's a pretty cool synergy for anyone who wants to collect Darth Vader stuff. Then we have a look at a My Hero Academia character that I know is a main character. I just point a blank on their name, with a really cool box design. This is part of the anime figure line that I personally am not collecting, but I've seen a lot of them popping up at Ross. So I don't see them hit store shelves, I just see them at Ross, which is crazy. And then GameStops occasionally. And then a Demogorgon and a new line of Stranger Things action figures that glows in the dark. That might be something I'm tempted to buy. It's not as expensive and it sounds kind of cool when it's glow in the dark, which is really awesome. So those are some items that are coming out that look cool. I'm really hoping, my fingers are crossed, that maybe they just haven't announced a Halo one yet. And in more Comic-Con news, specifically Jetta Toys news, they have 2 of their 3 exclusives shown off already, and they are both Street Fighters. One is Player 2 M. Bison in his green outfit with some awesome extra accessories, and there will be some alternate accessories for the Player 1 version. If you want to pick this up to give your Player 1 version some cool effects, you can. And then in the same vein of things, they're doing, pulling a blank on his name, I know I'm going to say it wrong, but you know who it is when you look at it. They're doing that character in a Player 2 design, and it's going to again have extra accessories to go to the Player 1 version. So it's kind of a little tricky where you have to buy the Player 2 version to get the same effects that the Player 2 version can do for the Player 1 version, but at least they're doing that. But it is behind an exclusive, but they look really incredible. I'm assuming these will be a bit, more on the deluxe side of things, so probably like $60-$75 for each of them during the convention. I don't think they've shown us prices yet, but it's cool to see them. And in Super 7 news, we have a look at, first up, the Target exclusive Python Patrol Cobra Commander, which will be available at Target later on this year. And then next up, we have some Comic-Con exclusives, all Godzilla things. We have Godzilla, little chibi Godzilla on a trike. They've been doing all these different characters, Universal Monsters, Godzilla, other characters on these little trikes, really cute. And then we got some chibi Godzillas of Godzilla in a blue gamma glow, and then a gold Mecha Godzilla, which looks awesome. And then finally, which is kind of cool actually, because they just did an Iron Man Mecha Godzilla in the Marvel Comics as a cover, so you could kind of customize this to look like that if you wanted to. And then finally, we got a burning orange clear Godzilla from -1, I believe it is, which looks really incredible. I wish it glowed in the dark. If it glowed in the dark, this would definitely be a buy for me, but I think it's just orange, which is still cool. I love clear toys. That's really awesome. But yeah, those are the Super 7 items this week for the convention that they've shown off, and hopefully we'll get more later on, including those 2 G.I. Joe Reaction Plus figures that we talked about a bit ago. Now for some stuff that's not toy related. Some of it is, some of it isn't. First up is McDonald's, starting July 1st, did small brand items. So what this will be is it will be a miniature version of different McDonald's items, and the thing that stuck out to me immediately was the pumpkin bucket, which is really cool looking for the Halloween stuff, and that will be able to actually, I think, fit in your action figure's hands, maybe even 6-inch. That's really cool. And then they're going to do all kinds of other stuff, like a drive-through, a toy kiosk of the toys that are shown here in miniature size. They'll have the restaurant in miniature size, a truck in miniature size, just all this cool stuff that you can see here that looks awesome will be available in your Happy Meal toys. So they'll be perfect for your action figures to have. If you want Deadpool to role play playing a McDonald's action place set, you could have him doing that. And then next up, this gives me flashbacks to Phantom Menace Pepsi cans. Back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, when Phantom Menace came out, they did a deal with Pepsi where you could get cans with different Star Wars characters on them. And now it looks like Coca-Cola is doing that with the Star Wars characters of new. So you can get Coca-Cola cans during the summer where they have Star Wars characters on them at certain stores, which is really cool. So I just want to cover both of these fun little non/toy things that are not toy but toy oriented, because you can use them in that. But they're really cool. And this week in comics that we think look awesome, first up we have a look at Bring On the Bad Guys, Green Goblin #1. I believe these are all one-shots. They did a Doctor Doom one, now we got this really cool Green Goblin one. Very excited for that. And then we also got, these are all Marvel titles this week, a lot of cool stuff coming out of Marvel. Captain America, Our Secret Wars #1. This is going to take place after Captain America's thawed out, the first time he meets Doctor Doom and challenges him, I believe is the story we're getting here, so I'm very excited for that. And then third up, we have Deadpool and Wolverine #1. These are all #1s too. I don't know if they're just one-shots or if they're continuation stories. I know the Captain America one is a part 1, but this one is Deadpool and Wolverine #1. And it is Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up again, but this time they bring their daughters along to have some fun, and I just think that's really cool. And then finally we have, in the long-running Godzilla versus, the Marvel Universe, we have Godzilla vs. Thor #1. That looks really cool. Just more reason for please Hasbro and Toho work together to do a HasLab Godzilla for your Marvel figures. I can keep hoping, I can keep wishing. I know I'm probably the only one putting that out there in the universe, but if I put it out enough, maybe it will happen. But yeah, those are the comics this week that look incredible, that I'm excited for. Some of them I might pick up, some of them I just thought were cool and I wanted to discuss and talk about. So, like always, go to your local comic shop, pick up whatever's in your saver, see what's new on the shelf this week, and have a wonderful time. And in our creative corner, we have a look at an amazing toy photographer and possibly a customizer, because I see some custom figures there. On Instagram, it is that of at First Strike Figures on Instagram, and they have an amazing amount of toy photography that just looks incredible. As you can see, some of the photos I picked out that I thought were really cool. First up, we got a Mephisto with fire. It just looks incredible. I love the photo. We got a really cool Doomslayer taking on some what looks like Mythic Legion skeletons. Looks incredible. Then we've got a really awesome, using the legendary barbarian with the blonde wig to make it look like He-Man with a battle cat. Really cool desert photo. Then we got a look at a Pee-wee Herman as the symbiote Spider-Man. I just thought that was funny. I could just imagine Pee-wee and the Marvel Universe getting taken over by the symbiote suit and just a wacky adventure. And then we have a Spider-Man 2099 on a water tower in the city, which this looks really cool. And then a really awesome Captain America fighting what looks like the VHS 2-pack Sentinels, which is just really cool, and it gives me that Capcom, 90s of X-Men and Marvel and stuff like that, and the Avengers vibe, and just really like the colors and everything like that on the photo. But really awesome stuff. So like always, definitely check out their page, give them the likes, the thumbs ups on their, give them some really positive comments, follow them if you like toy photography, if you're looking for something that kind of will make you more excited to like do stuff that you want to do when it comes to toy photography or customs, because this stuff is just inspirational and really cool looking, and makes me go, man, I want to get that figure out and put it with that figure and do a photo of that, because that just looks awesome. And this is really cool stuff, and the editing they do and the photos they do is just incredible. So thank you so much for checking them out with me. Thank you so much for stopping by, and like always, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and share the video with anyone else you think might like any of this awesome news. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.